Welcome to another episode of In Conversations with. You're with me, your host, Kiki Patty from the Black Professional Network. And today we're going to be interviewing Delwyn Thomas. Hi, Delwyn.
Hello.
Guys, Delwyn is actually one of the members of our leadership team here at BPN. So we're going to be diving deep to understand Delwyn's journey, to be inspired by his story, and as always, encouraging you guys to be the change that we want to see in Black communities across the UK. So let's start with the first question, Delwyn. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Right, well, my name is Delwyn Thomas. I'm a father of three, and I currently live in Bangor, Northern Ireland. I work for Civica, a global IT company. I'm an applications support manager. I also sit on several boards. So I'm a board member for the Migrant and Minority Ethnic Council in Northern Ireland. I'm also a board member for the African Voices Forum, a board member for the Women's Health Advocacy Network. Obviously, I'm a team lead for the Black Professional Networks, and I am an ex-chair of the Sierra Leone Bristol Association.
Wow, I feel like you have your hands full. It sounds like you do. Well, Delwyn, tell us though, like with all of these positions that you're managing and managing your full-time job and a family as well, what strategies do you use to navigate the challenges and the barriers that get in the way of you trying to achieve your goals?
Well, in terms of my professional goals, one of the things I'm very much aware of is, as a Black and ethnic person, I have to be focused. I have to be very disciplined, and I have to work twice as hard. Although some say it's a perception, but I've always felt I've had to work twice as hard. One of the strategies is being able to recognize opportunities, being able to grasp opportunities. And I think that is one of the things we in our community miss. So it's a balance between being extremely focused, knowing what your goals are, and also making sure that whatever opportunities come your way, you actually grasp them.
That's a very key, and that's a very, very important strategy. Thank you for sharing that with us. And so, Delwyn, what practical advice would you offer young Black professionals out there within the network and outside the network who want to grow into management positions and senior roles in their career? What advice would you give them to help them grow?
Right, well, actually, it was my father-in-law when I started my position at Civica. He gave me a very good advice, which is network. You have to network as a professional. That's one of the key things. You have to be visible within your team and within senior management, because if you're looking at promotion, it's not just the technical work that you do, but what else do you bring to the table? So you have to be visible. When you're in meetings, you have to make sure that your voice is heard. And another advice I would give to young professionals is always be prepared. You never know what's going to come around the corner. So you have to make sure that you are prepared, whether it's your technical skills, whether it's your CV, you just have to make sure that you are prepared. And in the world we live today, there are lots of tools that can get you to that level. And these tools include the networking aspect, being prepared, and also being visible. So you look at something like LinkedIn. I have spoken to professionals who haven't checked their LinkedIn account in years. Now that's a fantastic networking tool. So those would be my three main suggestions.
That's great. You said your father-in-law gave you that advice. So let's learn a little bit more from your own unique experience in terms of your growth to where you are. What were some of the challenges that you faced, and how did you find yourself, how did you get that visibility within your own career in taking that advice?
Right. One of the things that, again, within my own career, I have to say I have been extremely lucky. I have been extremely lucky to have very good mentors within the company I work for. So for example, my manager, he mentors and coaches me, and we have that relationship. And I have tried to keep that relationship going. But outside of work, and one of the things you quickly realize as a professional is not just the work that you do within the company, it's what you bring from outside the company. So one of the reasons I am involved in so many different organizations is because I realize the value, whether it's soft skills or hard skills, that it gives to me. And I hope that I give to the organizations as well. And when you interact with your managers or when you interact with your colleagues, that is one of the things you're able to talk about. So you don't talk about just within the confines of what you do, but also what are the skill sets you have learned. And when you do like your one-to-one with your manager, those are the sort of conversations you also have around your targets as well. So it's able to take what you learned within your workspace into these organizations, and what you learn from these organizations into your workspace. And for me, I think that is one of the ways I have grown. One of the ways that my managers and my colleagues see me as well, because again, they would follow you on LinkedIn, so they see what you do on LinkedIn. They would listen very keenly to the conversations you have. And I think that is one of the very important things. And in terms for me, that is one of the ways I think I have grown within my company, but also I have grown personally.
Do you know what's very, very interesting, and I don't think I've heard anyone say it like this before, is you're talking about not just visibility within the organization where you work, but it's also that visibility outside. So with all the volunteering you're doing, joining other networks, getting that visibility, it's both of them are powerful to get you where you want to go.
That's why they're very powerful. And then that leads back to the point I made about networking. We all know that careers are not for life. So, and your career is dependent on you. Your manager can get you up to a certain point. Your company can put in all the training up to a certain point, but your career is yours to manage. And again, that is one of the things I think as a community we need to focus on. And one of the ways you manage your career is one of the ways you upskill yourself, and you upskill yourself for free. These local organizations, because they are blank pieces of paper, and you can try something out, you can fail, and you can try again, and you have the space to do that. You have the space to meet people you normally wouldn't meet outside of work or within your work environment, actually. And professional network is a very good example.
Yeah, and actually that's the next question I was going to ask you about, the Black Professional Network. You know, what does that mean to you in the context of your own career?
Right, the Black Professional Network, to me, it's a space. It's a space to grow, it's a space to develop. It's a space for me to meet like-minded professionals, a space to meet professionals at every level. Professionals that can mentor you, and I hope there will be people that I can mentor as well. So for me, it is being part of that space, being able to talk about issues I might have. They could be very good issues. They're not just negative issues, and being able to share my experiences and also listen to others as well and see how that fits into my narrative as well.
Wow, that's a really good insight. Thank you for sharing that, Delwyn. And now we get into more personal. So tell me, what's your favorite quote?
My favorite quote is actually a misquote. And I think you actually said it at the start of this, which is, be the change that you want the world to see. And it was attributed to Gandhi, but it's actually a misquote. But I love that quote. It's actually been the change that you want the world to see. And in my example, it's been the change that I want my children to see. It's been the change that I want the youth in my community to see. I'm a Sierra Leonean, and again, some of the work I am starting to do focuses on Sierra Leone. So again, I think the quote itself captures what I am trying to do.
That is so beautiful. And it really does capture the essence of what we're trying to do with this In Conversation series, inspiring people to be the change, to hear the stories of other people who are being the change, to inspire them to be the change. So that's really great. All right, now let's get to the fun question. So imagine now that I am shipping you off to this desert island and you're only allowed to take 3 items with you. What 3 items will you take and why?
3 items. First, I would take, and I'll probably take
sorry, that it cut up then.
First, you would take what? I would take a very good book, and I'll take a book by my favorite author, which is Ben Okri. I will take one of his books. I would take music to listen to. If there was any electricity, I would take music to listen to. I'm really getting into jazz, especially African jazz. So I would take that, and I would probably take, I am struggling for a third one, but I would definitely take a good book, and I would take some really good music.
Oh, wow. You know what? African jazz is like one of my favorites. So I think I should add that to the list of what I'll be taking with me too. Delwyn, it's been so much fun chatting with you today. Thank you for your time.
And thank you to Kiki, and thank you to the Black Professional Networks.
You're welcome. So guys, this is a wrap for us today. And you know what? We just want to keep bringing you these conversations to inspire you to be the change. Delwyn is already doing that in his life. Let's take a leaf out of his book and keep inspiring each other to be the change that we want to see in the world. All right, guys, it's Kiki signing off. Thank you again, Delwyn.
Thank you.
All right, bye, guys.